All right, here with David Lowery at the 2013 Sundance Film Festival. David is a filmmaker who currently resides in Dallas, Texas. And David, besides the obvious chance to get to see a glimpse of Tony Danza, can you tell us why you're here at the Sundance Film Festival?
I am at Sundance to show the film that I wrote and directed, which is called Ain't Them Body Saints,
Mm-hmm.
and also because I edited a film called Upstream Color, and I want to show that some support. And I also co-wrote a film called Pit Stop, which just premiered, and I am currently leading the Q&A for that.
Awesome.
On
Yeah.
the way to my next screening for my film.
So three world premieres in 2 days, right?
That is absolutely correct.
Is that the most films you've been associated with at Sundance? Do you know?
Yes, I think I've, behind the scenes, there was a year, I think, where I had 2 films that I worked on.
Uh-huh.
But I think this is the biggest so far.
Cool. So this is, I'm assuming something that you have aspired to, if not precisely this scenario, but being, having a film at Sundance that you wrote and directed, and on the level of Saints, I'm sure has been a goal in some form or fashion for a while.
For sure. When you're working independent film, it's always sort of a plateau to which everyone
Right.
aspires until they get there. And I think, it's sort of that you definitely just always have that in mind. Like, it would be great to premiere this film at Sundance. That would be the great place to kick off any film
Right.
on an independent scale.
Right.
And so, very much so. We were here 2 years ago with a short film, and that was just such a wonderfully satisfying experience to bring something I made to Sundance for the first time, and to be back here again with a feature, and to get to show it to 2,000 people at the Eccles yesterday was just, sort of a nice little, you get to that moment, and you don't rest there, but you can kind of stop and say, okay, I'm going
Right.
to enjoy this for about 5 minutes, and we did this, we made it, and then it's on to the next screening and the next movie, and
Right.
so on and so forth.
Can you remember the first time that you heard of Sundance and what you thought of it at that time?
I remember that my mom told me about it when I was probably like 10 or 11 years old.
Oh, wow.
I had no concept of what independent film was, and there was an article about it in Newsweek, and she told me about it, and I think she said something like, "Oh, you should try to make a movie and show it there." And I was back before I even had a camcorder, but I was always planning on making movies.
Oh, wow.
And so that was it, and it stuck in my head, and got older and started making films that actually felt like I could send to festivals, and sent them, and they
Yeah.
were summarily rejected many times, and then finally one time it worked out, and I think that Sundance does a great job of fostering a community, and so a sense of family, and to that degree, once you're in, you're sort of in. So even though if your films don't always play there, you always feel like you sort of belong.
Part of the
That's sort
family.
a really nice feeling. They do a great job of that.
Cool. This is kind of an off-topic question, but what famous person, either past, present, or future / theoretical, would you be most starstruck by? You saw it at Sundance. You can make somebody up if you want.
Oh, man. I don't even know.
All right.
I'm so bad at spotting anybody who's famous that I don't know, I'm always around, someone's like, "Oh, did you see who was just walking
Right.
by?" I didn't even know.
Right.
I'm so bad at noticing them. I will say that this is sort of a weird answer, but I was definitely, I saw Paris Hilton at a party last night, and well, there's
That's
for better or worse,
right.
there's a celebrity.
That's like the
that's a celebrity with a capital C.
right.
It's probably not a great thing that she's at Sundance.
Right.
But whatever.
But she just sort of exemplifies celebrity culture.
Yeah, exactly.
In the States.
Exactly.
Where do you think, if you can say, what do you think will be different about Sundance in 10 years?
Well, maybe they'll, if the planet keeps heating up, they'll be a little warmer, which will be a really disappointing thing because I look forward to all the snow every year. I don't know. I think it's hard to say where independent film is going right now, just because we're right in the middle of a paradigm shift. And I think people keep saying every year is like, oh, this is the year of the paradigm shift.
Right.
But it's one of those things I think is going to take a full 10 years or so to finally like show itself, like where independent film is going with the internet and all of the things that come with that. And so it's hard to say, like, Robert Redford did his speech and said if he was, creating Sundance now, if it hadn't ever existed and someone like suggested that he should start a film festival, he probably wouldn't, just because you don't do it in the same way that you did 20, 30, or 40 years ago.
Yeah.
And that was a really interesting thing to consider. And so yeah, I don't know what, it'll exist certainly, but in what capacity, it's tough to say.
Right.
I'm sure it'll continue to thrive in wherever it goes. And hopefully, I just love coming and watching movies, and I hope that exists. I hope that it stays that, because I personally enjoy it.
Do you have a favorite moment from this year so far?
Going home and taking a nap after our first screening was an awesome moment. That was a great moment. Like, that's a really lame moment, but it was great.
I remember seeing you guys on the street after the screening, and you guys were just sort of like
zombies.
Yeah. Well, thank you very much,
No problem.
and congratulations, and we'll see you soon.
All right, take care.